Hey there, it's Jen, and I'm here to share another hybrid scrapbook process video with you using the Ali Edwards Time Story Kit. So I'm going to be using a digital element here, and then I'm also going to be using the physical kit to create a layout today. And the element that I've decided to use for this particular layout is this little clock, and it's a half clock, which works out great because I'm going to put it at the bottom of my layout. So I'm creating an 8.5 by 11 page today. And so what I'm going to do first is open a new document. Oops, not open. File new. And I'm just going to do letter size document. Now I prefer to have all of my different elements floating in different windows, so I always go to Window, Arrange, Float All in Windows, and then I can have them separate like this. So my photo is 6 inches tall, and so I know that I just have the bottom 5 inches to work with. And so I'm just keeping that in mind as I do this. Now, first thing I want to do is I'm going to change the color of this clock. It's black in the PNG format that it comes in, but I'm going to make it kind of a light grayish color. I don't want it to be super bold because my photo is completely black, and I want it to be different from that. So I am going to change it to gray, and I'm just going to use one of these gray colors in my swatches. I think I'll try this one. So I'm going to grab that color, and then I'm going to go to Edit, Fill, and I'm going to make sure my foreground color is chosen. That's going to pick the color over here that's on top, and hit OK. And then I have this gray color, and what I'm going to do now is drag that over to my layout. Now, it's quite a bit smaller than my whole page, but I want it to fill the entire bottom of the page up. So what I'm going to do is just set it at the very bottom corner, and then hold down my shift key and drag it up until it fills the entire thing. And then I'm going to move it down a little bit. You can see that fills the entire up to that 6-inch line, which is where my photo is going to be, and I want it to be lower than that. So I'm going to move it down until you don't see those bottom 2 little lines around the clock, and that is going to be just enough space, I think, for what I want to do here. And in fact, I'm going to make it just a tiny bit, I'm going to squish it down, so this is making it not quite clock shaped, it's not quite round, so that there's a full inch there. And I'm going to click the check mark. Now what I want to do is my journaling, and I'm going to have my journaling fit into this clock space. So I kind of already typed it out, and what I want to do is just drag a text box that will fill that space. And I've already typed it out, so I'm just going to copy and paste my journaling. And basically what I did was, it's an 8-point font, so it's really small. And I like to use Courier New Regular. It's just a nice typewriter font. And I made it so that it will fit around where those little pieces come in and out. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to click the checkbox, and then I can move my text down to where it fits. And I need to fix it a little bit. So I'm going to get my text tool again. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this, what I'm doing here. There we go. So I want it to fill the space so that it goes edge to edge. And so I'm just going to fix it so that it does, let's see. Nope, I need to go a little bit more. One more. And this is kind of a little bit of the painstaking way to do it, but it's just how I roll. So I am just going to fix up this journaling so it fills the space the way that I want it to. Okay, so here I have my words all aligned. You can see that they go around to the little curves. I'm not making them go up into these spaces at all or down into these spaces down here. I think that it will be fine without it. And I'm happy with the way that this looks, and I got the words that I wanted to say down here. And so I'm just gonna be good with that, and I'm gonna see if I want to I think it looks good just right where it is. And so now I'm ready to print this off, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going to incorporate this onto
paper printed out with my journaling here. You can see it takes up a lot of space. And here is the photo that I printed. So I actually printed this 6x10, not knowing exactly what size I would want it, but I think that I can cut it down to 8.5 without losing a whole lot of what I want on there. So what I'm gonna do first is go ahead and adhere this onto my background. And I'm just going to use this corner and line it up because in this one you can see somebody's hand, and this is the most awkward part of the photo. So I think that lining it up with this side will work great. And then I can just trim this side off. I think I'll use my trimmer here. See, I didn't lose very much at all. So that looks great. And now I can go ahead and work on my title and things like that. So I was thinking I might want to use the acrylic piece that comes in this kit. And I wanted to do Time to Let Go. And so I was going to see if I could make it so that I could kind of curve it around this area. And I wanted to see if I could use these white letter stickers to do To Let Go. And it's going to be very subtle, very tone on tone. And I think what I'll do is grab a piece of wax paper and just lay it right here so that I can see if it's going to work. So, okay, so I really like this look. I'm trying to decide if it's too light, like if it's not gonna show up enough. I could do it with another color, and I have this kind of dark blue color that's the same font, but it's just small, or just a different color. So I could do it like that, but I kind of like the consistency of having the title all be one color. So for now I'm going to leave it like this. And then I was going to see if there's anything else in the story kit that I would want to add. And there are these little clocks that are, they're just stickers. There's 2 sheets included in the kit. And I thought I would put, the time that we did this was around 8 something. And so I was going to see if there was one that was, so this looks like it's about 8 o'clock. And I could put this somewhere. I don't know. That just seems like I'm putting something randomly there. That doesn't, I don't know. We'll see about that one. I like these chipboard pieces as well. This one that says, "Remember This Time," might be a good one to stick right at the top. And I like the way that it would bring the white, and it also points you down toward the title. And I just need to make sure I get that completely centered. So I think I like that. And I could put "Here's the Story" next to this, but that doesn't quite work. Such good timing. See, I was thinking I could put a longer little strip here. Best of Times is the right size, but it's not exactly what I want to say. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll look at some of my other story kit pieces. It could be A Story of Bravery. I like that one actually a lot. So I think I'll use A Story of Bravery. And that fits that space. And I think it works really well. So I'm really happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and glue all of this down and then see if there's anything else that I want to quickly just show you what I'm sticking this down with. I have some double-sided adhesive tape from Thermoweb, and this is like score tape, and I just put it on the different areas of this this acrylic piece, and then I'm just going to peel it off and stick it down. Now what I would usually use is my Thermoweb mixed media adhesive, and I really love that adhesive because it holds acrylic pieces and stuff like that down, but it's clogged right now and I'm too lazy to go unclog it. So I'm using the tape, even though it takes a little bit longer, and it probably would have taken me less time to just unclog the stupid glue, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. So I thought that I would go ahead and stick this down, and then let's just check to see if there's anything else that might work on this layout, although I'm happy to keep it very simple. I really want the focus to be on the photo and on the story, and so I'm happy for it to be very simple. I kind of want this to just rest here. And that actually fits on without going off, so I thought I was going to have to cut it off, but it doesn't need to. So there's that, and let's see if there's anything else from the kit that I want to add, if the clocks will work or if they won't. I don't know that I'm super intent on putting on another clock. I don't feel like I have to or need to, and I don't think, I don't know, maybe it just doesn't need it. So the other things that are in this kit are a big chipboard, or I mean wood veneer clock and a quote inside, which I don't think I need. And then I have more of the quotes, and I could do some of these if I wanted to. Much needed timeout. I kind of like that. And such good timing. I like that one as well. I could just create kind of a little cluster of these here. I don't really like the best of times. I could do tough times because I was letting tough times go. I don't know. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm kind of feeling like it just doesn't need a lot. And maybe what I'll do is add a little strip of washi tape or something underneath my photo just for, or pattern paper, just for a little pop of color. So I'm going to look for a pattern paper right there. And I think I'll also add just a couple of staples. So I'll add one to the center of this piece at the top, which is actually a little crooked. Let's see if I can get that stuck down. So I'll add one to the top here. And then I don't think it can even reach to there, but I can staple it this way. So, sorry, just looking for my little pad here. What you can do is undo your tiny attacher, and then you can staple without having to actually go through the page. So there's that staple, and it comes through on the other side. And then I can just use something to kind of fold the edges flat. So I'm looking for my little poker tool, which I usually use. I'm not seeing it here. Oh, there it is. I just like the end of this because it's nice and flat. And then you can just push the edges of the staples down. Okay, so I'm going to look for either a washi tape or a piece of pattern paper that I can stick right here and then call this. Okay, so I found some gold glitter paper that I kind of liked, but I felt like it was a little too flashy. And so I have this gold glitter washi tape that's a little bit less flashy. I also had some gold, just plain gold washi tape that's not super shiny. So I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to slide it up underneath the photo so it's not very thick. Because I just want a thin border of it showing. So if I can find the edge of this, then I'm going to go ahead and use that. Here we go. So I think what I'll try to do, let's see, this is going to be the most awkward thing of my life because I put this time down, although it's not too hard to pull up. So I think I want it to be about this long. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to lift this up on top of it. Then I'm going to lift the paper up, or the picture up. This is the most awkward thing you've ever watched on video, maybe. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm struggling a little bit. That's okay. I'm gonna put this down. I'll get it. I'll spare you from watching the struggle. Yay, I did it. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that over onto the back, and that's just a nice little tiny pop of color there. Now, I feel like this needs something, and I think what it needs is the date. So I'm just gonna stamp the date over and over again on the bottom, just so that it feels like it fills the same space as the journaling does. And so I'm gonna look up the date really quickly, and I constantly am looking on my phone for the dates of my photos, and looks like it was September 16th. So here's what I want to do. I want it to be light. I don't want it to be heavy. I don't want it to drag anything down. I don't want it to be black. So I think I'm going to use a gray ink. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp it a couple of times without inking it up again. And I'm just going to kind of fill in the space, but I don't want it to be super dark, so. Okay, that might have been a little too messy for what I wanted, but I'm not going to worry about it now because the rest of the layout is done, and no! Okay, well, crap. I just totally dropped the ink pad on the paper. So I'm not one of those people who wants to reprint stuff, so I'm gonna see what I can do to fix this. I don't know. I don't know what I can even do. I can try to add more ink to the other side so it doesn't look so crazy. Maybe it's just time to let it go. I don't know. This is gonna bug me a little bit. Boy, no. No, 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 no. I hate it. So, I don't know what to do. I really don't want to reprint it. I think what I'll do is reprint it and just cut the circle part and place it on top. So okay, I decided to come back in this video and show you because I changed up the way that I did the bottom. I just stamped one straight row of full strength ink across the bottom. I like that a lot more. So this is where I'm going to call this finished. And I wanted to also read you my journaling really quickly because this story is really important to me. And as I was creating it, these story kits do something for me that I don't get anywhere else, and they help me tell these stories that are just really important to my life that I wouldn't tell otherwise. So it says, when I bought tickets for the Lights Festival, I knew it was going to be a very symbolic event for me. I needed it to be. There are some things I've been holding on to that I can let go. I need to let them go. It's time. I thought of the way those things were weighing me down, pushing me, really. I came up with a list and then wrote time to let go on my lantern. When it was time to light them, there were a few things that stood out to me. It's harder than it looks. Trying to light it, making sure it's filled with enough hot air to lift off the ground, and then being so frustrated when it came crashing down, sometimes hitting into other people. The other thing I noticed, some people gave up. It was too hard, and some people were helpers. When they saw lanterns come down, they gave them another push up into the air. It took me a few tries, but I got my lantern up after an extra push from someone else when it came down. And it felt so good to let go, to push those things away from me, to release them, to let the weight I was carrying float away, and to know it was okay if I had a little help, that sometimes it was necessary. It was so beautiful, and I'm grateful. It was time. So, so grateful for this kit this month. I have another story I want to tell with it, and so I'll be telling that as soon as I have the time to do it in the coming weeks. But I hope that you'll check this out. If you don't have the physical kit, check out the digital kit because you can use those elements over and over again. The thing I love about it too is that you can enlarge things to put on a whole background like I've done with this clock. And the journaling cards, you get both sides of them, right? So in the kit, you get the one card and it's got a front and a back. But in the kit, you can have both sides if you wanted to in the digital kit. So I heard you to check that out. I am also a big fan of the physical kit, so check that out as well. But I hope that you've enjoyed, and thanks for joining me.